She arrived at the grand hall, the sound of laughter and clinking glasses filling the air, but all she felt was emptiness. Her sister, radiant in white, glided through the crowd, wrapped in joy and attention, while she clutched her small purse, feeling like a ghost in her own family. She had been pushed aside, told she didn't need to sit at the main table, as if her presence would somehow shadow the bride's perfect day. So she sat alone, at the very edge of the room, hoping no one would notice the tears threatening to spill. The photographer flashed smiles at happy couples, but she felt invisible, a stranger in her sister's life. Every cheer for the bride, every toast, every dance reminded her of what she had lost, not the wedding, not her sister, but the life she had imagined for herself. And then, as if the universe had finally noticed her quiet suffering, a man with kind eyes and a tired smile appeared beside her. He didn't say a word at first. He simply held out a chair and, with a small, reassuring nod, invited her to move slightly closer. "Hey," he said, his voice warm, "act like you're with me." At first, she didn't understand. "With you?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. He smiled, a little crooked, and gestured to the crowded dance floor. "Yeah. Just pretend. Trust me." There was something disarming about his presence. Maybe it was the way he seemed to carry the weight of the world but still offered her this tiny escape from her loneliness. Maybe it was the genuine warmth in his eyes. She hesitated, but something in her told her to accept. As the evening unfolded, she found herself laughing at his jokes, leaning on his shoulder, and forgetting, even if just for a moment, that she was supposed to feel small and invisible. The man, a single dad with a kind heart named Daniel, had his own story of quiet heartbreak, and somehow, their pain mingled in an unspoken understanding. "You don't have to be alone tonight," he said gently, "even if it's just for a few hours. Let me make sure you're not." It was simple, yet profound. For the first time that evening, she felt seen. As the night deepened, the bride twirled with her groom, guests cheered, and the music swelled, but their corner of the hall became a small universe of shared stories, laughter, and empathy. Daniel shared moments about his daughter, about the struggles of raising her alone, and she shared the quiet emptiness she felt in her own life, the way she had always felt like a shadow next to her sister. By the time the last dance approached, she realized something important. She didn't need a perfect night or a perfect family to feel worthy. She needed connection, kindness, and courage to let herself be seen. And in Daniel's quiet, unwavering companionship, she found it. The next morning, she woke up with a lingering warmth, remembering the laughter, the comfort of his presence, and the small yet significant way he had changed her night. She had expected embarrassment, awkward glances, or pity from the world, but instead, she had found someone who saw her, really saw her, for the first time in a long while. Weeks passed, but the memory of that night stayed with her, a gentle reminder that even in moments of loneliness, unexpected connections could offer healing. She and Daniel started meeting, initially in coffee shops, then in parks, sometimes just sitting quietly, other times laughing until their sides hurt. Their bond was subtle but undeniable, built on honesty, vulnerability, and the unspoken understanding of what it meant to feel left out, misunderstood, or overlooked. One afternoon, as they walked hand in hand past the same hall where her sister's wedding had been, she stopped and looked at him. "I almost didn't go that night," she admitted. "I thought I'd just be invisible, and maybe I deserve to be." Daniel squeezed her hand gently. "No one deserves to be invisible. Not you. Not anyone. Sometimes we just need someone to remind us we belong." And she realized he had done more than just remind her. He had helped her find her own voice, her own confidence, and a sense of joy she hadn't felt in years. She wasn't just sitting with someone, she was stepping into a life where her presence mattered. The story of that wedding night wasn't just about a lonely girl and a kind stranger. It was about resilience, about finding light in unexpected places, about the courage to accept kindness when it comes knocking. And in the quiet strength of Daniel's companionship, she discovered the most important truth: even when life makes you sit alone, there's always someone willing to stand with you. Sometimes, it's even a stranger who becomes family. By the end of their journey, she wasn't just sitting with him at a wedding. She was walking through life with someone who made her feel visible, valued, and cherished. And in that, she found a happiness she had never thought possible, proof that sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness can change the course of a life forever.